Okay. I don't have any jokes for you. Okay. Yes. All right, go ahead and pass those two, and I'll show this. Okay, those two. Ready? Okay. I'm Sharon Ayres, and I'm going to be doing the top plate of the pedestal, cake pedestal. And I know all the Woodturners know that there are several different ways of doing things. And for the beginners, all you have to do is ask one Woodturner how to do something, and you'll get 3 or 4 different ways to do it. Well, where Charlie put it in the big chuck with the glue block, I'm using a small chuck here. And is this locked? Yeah. Did you lock it? This one right here? Okay. So I'm going to I've already drilled my hole where he drilled his on the lathe. Let me go ahead and show you this. We're going to just do the step. Charlie brought a dome, and we're going to be fitting that in the groove to hold on. And you can go ahead and pass that around to Ed now. Okay, I'm going to be expanding this. I drew the 1.5 inch hole, and I went 3/8 inch deep. You don't want to go too deep on here, or it'll go out the other end. Because of me not being able to drill it deep enough, we don't want the chuck to bottom out in this hole and not fit flat against face. So I made a little spacer that will go on this chuck here. And yes, I think that's what that is. So I'll put the spacer on first. This does 2 different things. One, it'll help it not bottom out and fit against here. Another thing, it will help support this, because this is an awful small chuck for this big platter. You wouldn't normally just put it on here and turn this. This is a rubber chucky, and it fits on the tailstock on the drive center. This is a one-way drive center, and I just screwed this on. You can get that at rubberchucky.com. And it's $39 for 2 pieces. There's a pointed one also. So I'm just going to expand this in here. The spacer, no, it's just probably about 1/8 of an inch. And that's just going to make this fit good and tight. Okay, I'm going to pull this up just so that can fit on there. That'll give me some more support. Tighten that. You want to be sure and make sure everything clears. We're going to true up the edge here first, because this was cut out on a bandsaw, and I don't cut real straight. We'll lower the tool rest where the 1/2 inch bowl gouge will be hitting at the center. I'll turn my lathe on. We're going to turn it on, have the speed down, and slowly speed it up. While I'm cutting this, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting. We don't want to go all the way to the end, where it's going to go part way and then come back the other way. If not, it'll chip out. So all I'm doing is truing up the edge, just going back and forth. Now, you do need to make sure that your board is wide enough if you're going to be fitting a dome lid on it. Okay, we'll turn this off and just see if this is round enough. I have a couple of flat spots. This is will be our end result. And I'll pass this around. This is these instructions, and all I did is paint this with the black chestnut stain and then sanded it back. So if y'all want to pass that around, I don't know who wants to get it. Okay. Okay, this is still a few flat spots, so I'm going to go ahead and get this. With this platter, it's real simple. There's really not a whole lot of turning involved. A lot of it's just steps. Also, this doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It does have to have all the flats ends off, but because we're going to be stepping down, it doesn't have to be totally true and straight. I think that's getting straight enough. Okay, no flat areas. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, with my pencil, I'm going to mark my center. And because Charlie's dome lid is 10 inches in diameter, and it's glass, so I have to be careful not drop it. It's 10 inches in diameter, but there's about a 1/4 inch that we're going to have to set it in the groove. So I'm going to mark my center with the pencil line, and then we'll be measuring like 9 3/4. And then I'm going to go in with a parting tool or a bedan to make my groove so this will fit in the groove. On the one that's being passed around, I didn't fit it in a groove. I just have it sitting where it's just one little step, and it fits nice. Okay, so I'm going to mark my center. There. And then with the caliper, like I say, this is 9 3/4, so we're just going to take half of that. And I'm going to put my corner right here in the center, and then that marks my 9 3/4. Now for safety, I'm going to go ahead and put our tailstock up. Oh, I'm going to have to do that again, because first what we need to do is true this up on the plate. You can tell by the circles it's not straight. And to do that, I'm going to use my 1/2 inch bowl gouge, and I'm just going to shear this across to straighten this off, to flatten it out. So this is just a dragging cut. I've got the tool handle in with my hip, holding it nice and straight. And we're just going to drag this. To straighten up this plate. You can go back and forth. Okay. The rubber chucky, did I what? The flatten it? No, I did not, but I will. I'll scoot this out, but we don't want to keep it off too long because, like I say, that's not. And then you can flatten it off too with a sander. I have a big sanding disc. Later when we get through, now we're not going to be sanding, but you can put this in a little groove or just hold it up there and sand it. And it's an easy little sanding disc. Okay, I'll turn this up a little bit more. All right, now we're going to get our calipers. and try this again. Put this right in the center. And then we're going to go in with the, we'll try parting tool. So all I'm going to go do is just put it in like that. We won't go too deep first until we fit it. A little dusty. This lays a little high for me, so it's right in my face. All right, we'll try this. Okay, that looks like a good fit.
I bought it at an antique store for $10.
Wow, that's great. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make this a little deeper. This doesn't kick up like this at home. That's why you want to wear a face shield or glasses. Okay, I think that's deep enough. All right, now what we're going to do is just step this down to make a groove. You can match it up to your stand. What we're going to do is just take a little groove here. I'll first go down with my bow gouge and just do some steps down like this. Since this little recess here has the stand, you just need about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch on the side. You can make as many grooves or as deep as you want. You can also round it off with a beading tool. We'll just make several grooves like that. I can straighten it up with my badan. All right, we're going to be sure and turn off your lathe before you move your tool rest. We're going to round off this back here to kind of finish this a little bit. Yes, I can put that back on. Are y'all getting nervous? Let me make sure this fits good first. Yes. Great fit. There's a few little grooves which you can get out with the sandpaper. We're not sanding today just to save time. But we are going to take this completed cake plate and have it for the Christmas auction. Isn't that right, Charlie? So once it gets finished. What? No, the dome doesn't come. Oh, does it? Oh, the dome will come with it. That's great. No. You have to make your own cake. Okay, I'm just going to round this edge off because this is the side that's going to be underneath. But you do want it kind of finished off. You want to take light cuts. And then also we're going to have this where it's not so sharp. So I'm just going to go with my bowl gouge and or I'll just do my spindle gouge. And just kind of round each of these grooves off just to make it not so sharp. So I'm just taking off the edge. Again, you could even do this with sandpaper. Okay, I'm going to do this edge just a little bit. Now you got to be real careful from going on the back side. I'm going to use my spindle gouge. Turn this on, I'm just going to barely touch it, but it's real easy to knock a chunk out coming from this direction. That's all you need to do, just light touch. Okay, that's all of that part. So we'll knock it over to the tag team. We'll go to Brian. Thank you.